Hello students, today we will discuss about some of the basic features of Indian money market. First of all, we must know about what is a money market. Money market is a market where the short-term securities having a maturity period of less than 1 year are traded. Now, some of the important features of our money market are as follows. Number one, short-term funds are traded. That means all those funds which are having a maturity period of less than 1 year is being traded in our money market. Number two, it is dichotomy in nature. That means one sector is fully regulated by RBI, whereas other sector is completely free from any kind of regulations. Third feature is it is seasonal in nature because demand is seasonal. Fourth one is role of interbank call money market is very important in our Indian money market. Fifth one, high fluctuations in the rate of interest because in the organized sector the rate of interest is quite low, whereas in the unorganized sector the rate of interest is very high. That's why high fluctuations can be seen in the rate of interest of the securities traded in both the segments. Point number 6 is lack of organized bill market. Point number 7 is abundance of money lenders. Large number of money lenders are participating in our money market. They comes under unorganized sector. Point number 8, abundance of indigenous bankers. Students, the indigenous bankers, they are different from the money lenders. The indigenous bankers are basically the high net worth individuals who are active in our unorganized sectors, whereas money lenders are very small lenders. The area of operation of money lenders is basically confined to one or two villages only, whereas the area of operation of indigenous banker is confined to two or more districts. Now point number 9 is paucity of funds. That means lack of funds. We can see when there is a peak season, there is lack of funds in our money market. And the last one is less financial instruments are available. When we compare the securities which are traded in our money market with the securities which are traded in developed money market, we can find the securities are quite less in our money market. Now we will learn about the essentials of a developed money market. That means what must be there in any market so as to regard it as a developed one. Or now number one is highly organized. That means that market must be fully organized. We can see large number of sectors or the majority of the sectors in our money market was unorganized. That's why our market is not regarded as a developed one. But in any developed money market, the sector must be highly organized. All the sectors, they must be organized. They must be controlled by any regulatory body. Number two is presence of a central bank so as to control the sectors. In order to control all the sectors, there must be a central bank. Number third one is large number of instruments to be traded. This is one of the important feature of developed money market. Large number of securities are being traded in that particular market. Number four is large number of participants. In developed money market, we can see large number of participants, large number of individuals are there, large number of financial institutions are there, large number of government institutions are there. So overall, there are large number of participants who are actively participating in the developed money markets. Fifth one is proper control over interest rates. That means less fluctuations in the interest rate of instruments traded. All the instruments which are traded under money market and the interest rates applicable upon those instruments, there must be less fluctuations in the interest rate. That means if there is one security, suppose security 1, and there is another security that is security 2, the interest rate upon security 1 and 2, the variance or the variation between both these instruments, the interest rates, that must be very less because high fluctuation is basically seen in underdeveloped money markets. Now, point number 6 is developed bill market. The bill market must be developed one. Point number 7 one is existence of large submarkets. We can see large number of submarkets in any developed market. For example, there is a different CPs market, there is a different CDs market or certificate of deposits market, there is a different bill market, commercial bills market, there is a different treasury bills market. So these are sub markets which prevails within a money market. So large number of sub markets must be there. Point number 8 is availability of discounting houses. It is very important that discount houses are there in any money market, because they are always ready to discount the securities which are traded under those particular markets. Now, point number 9 is political stability and economic growth. Students, if political stability is there, then that market is going to be developed very soon. So it is very important that political stability is there. In most of the developed money market, we can see political stability, and that particular is quite very rich. Point number 10, a network of dealers and sub brokers. That means large number of dealers and sub brokers, they must be active in that particular money market. And last point is proper coordination between sub markets. That means all the sub markets, they are well connected with each other. So these were the essentials of developed money markets. Now in the third and last segment, we will talk about the shortcomings of Indian money market. We have already studied about the features of Indian money market and the features of developed money market. Now we will see what are the shortcomings of Indian money market. Why our money market is not regarded as a developed one. What are the shortcomings? Number one is paucity of funds, because in our market we will always see that in the peak seasons there is lack of funds. Number two, lack of bank branches in rural areas. In India we can see that the bank branches, they are not mainly opened in the rural areas. We can see large number of bank branches in the cities, but as compared to the cities, the same number of bank branches, they are not visible in the rural areas. Point number third is poor propensity to save. We can see that the Indians, their saving habits nowadays is not very good. It directly affects the money market also. Point number 4, lack of funds in busy seasons. This is quite same to the first point, that is paucity of funds. We can see during the busy seasons there is lack of funds. Point number 5 is lack of developed bill market. In India the bill market is not very developed, because all the banks, they are not going to discount all the commercial bills of the merchants. There are large number of there are large number of regulations passed by the banks. For example, the banks are ready to discount the 60 days or 90 days commercial bills, but rest of the commercial bills, they are not discounted by the commercial banks. That's why the bill market in our country is not very developed. Point number 6 is disparity in interest rate. That means high level of fluctuations in the interest rate. In our country we can see that in certificate of deposits, if the rate of interest are 10% or 11%, then the interest rates charged by the indigenous bankers or the money lenders, they are quite 20 to 30%. So there is disparity. There is large number of fluctuations in the interest rates charged over the instruments traded in our money market. Point number 7 is dichotomy, that is dual character, because one sector is completely regulated by any regulatory body, whereas the unorganized sector is completely free from all the regulations. So it is dual character in nature. Point number 8 is less number of financial instruments are traded as compared to the instruments which are traded under the developed money market. The financial instruments which are traded in our money market, they are quite less in numbers. So it is one of the major shortcomings of Indian money market. Ninth one is very few discount houses are operative. Students, we can see that in our money market there are very few discount houses. For example, DFHI is there. Some of the banks, they are ready to discount the bills. RBI also discounts some of the things, but we are not going to find large number of discount houses. These are very small number of discount houses which are operative in our money market. Now it directly affects the liquidity of the instruments. If large number of discount houses are will be there, then they will provide liquidity to the instruments. Now because there are lack of discount houses in our money market, that's why we can say that most of the instruments, they are quite less liquid. Now point number 10 is dominance of unorganized sector. We can see that 70% of Indian money market is captured by indigenous bankers, money lenders and other unorganized sector units. So we can say that the unorganized sector is dominating over the organized sector, and this is not a good sign for any market. Point number 11 is dominance of financial institutions. Now the developed money market, or for a good money market, the individuals must be dominating, but we can see that in our money market the financial institutions are dominating, and the number of those financial institutions is very less. For example, UTI is there, LIC, GIC, IDBI, ICICI. These are some of the financial institutions which are dominating in our financial market. And the last number one is brokers hardly participate in Indian money market. We can see that in Indian money market the brokers hardly participate. They are always willing to participate in the capital market, but they are least interested in the money market. We can see few sub brokers which are ready, who are ready to participate in money market, but the brokers